So it was just last week that we were all talking about this funeral service of the ex-president, the former president Jimmy Carter, and the way the presidents were being made to sit together. It was just awkward, but funny for us, right? And while that transpired, that happened. It was worth noticing how the media took it, and Harris's expression of watching Barack Obama enjoying the bonhomie with Trump. You could see the faces of Hillary Clinton and Harris, and the rest of the people were just chill. I mean, Bush and Clinton, as usual, in another dimension altogether there. Everybody caught up with the inauguration, right? Meanwhile, I have made myself some Black Eyed Peas, so let me just pull that out. So I was saying that everybody caught up with the whole hoopla around the transfer of power on January 20th with the swear-in ceremony attended by the world leaders. It almost felt like it was, the ticket price was starting from billionaires at least, because you could see billionaires lined up, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, even Sundar Pichai was there of Google. Yeah, so lengthy speeches as one would expect, and quite a fanfare which continued for quite a long period of time. But it was fun, it was entertaining to see how it was all happening. Apparently leaders from a lot of countries, in Trump's own words, called him up, and he was surprised that there were about 100 countries. I mean, this guy's really got some sense of humor. He's trying to lower the number of countries by merging all the countries. No wonder he's called out for Greenland, Canada, and Panama to be considered as part of US itself. The swearing ceremony of Marco Rubio, I found it was quite important and interesting, being an immigrant myself, is the way he addressed the public, the things he said, and the fact that there is going to be an effort to make the Department of State to be quite the center of activity, given all that is going around in the world. His role is going to be quite essential. And there are a couple of things which he said which were important, and I noted them down, were that it's not just about formulating the foreign policy, but how to execute them. It's going to be critical. I think that's what he said. And that the decision making is going to be based out of three questions. Is it strong? Is it going to make the country stronger, safer, and prosperous? If those questions are apparently not answered, then I'm going to do it. That's the kind of talk that you've really not, one is not used to hearing from, especially from politicians, of bringing in efficiency in the government work, which is refreshing and which is kind of giving some hope to things. But let's see how it works out. How do they go about delivering on that? That's going to be interesting, very interesting, because while talk is good, it also kind of puts pressure on yourself to walk the talk now. And if you don't, then you're in a way creating your own pitfalls. So that is interesting. Now, what else? We know, I mean, the whole debate is going on immigration, and illegal immigration needs to be in check. And there's a lot of chatter around that. There's a lot of to and fro. Here, as an immigrant, here is the take, and I still am trying to wrap my brain around the democratic stance on this one. As a country, there is rule of law. Understandably, yeah, you want to be this great leader of the world, and you want to bring in as many people as you want to, but you are a country which follows the law, and everything is law. Otherwise, there's nothing that differentiates, let's say, this from a lot of other disturbed parts of the world. So what exactly is it that the Democrats are okay, that the rhetoric, that the Democrats are actually criticizing the rhetoric coming in from the Republicans, which is they would remove and deport the criminals, all said and done. Not once have they said that, okay, the criminals will go. I mean, when you are in a debate, you would need to concede some part of it, otherwise your credibility comes into question. Even as an immigrant, I can find logic in that they're trying to remove the criminals from the country. Apparently, a lot of criminals have seeped into the country. They exploited the illegal system. I'm here legally, and there is a lot of sacrifice that one has to pay and make, but it's an informed decision that one has made that, okay, I'm not going to be able to work for some time because they've got a process around giving work permits. We made a decision around that. Not a very happy scenario at times. Why object the contention that there is illegal migration? Why does the Democrat not give a better answer to that? And I think that's the rhetoric which I think is striking with a lot of people. Even imagine, I don't even have a say in the political uh, decision making of this country, but I mean, I would at least have an opinion. Like, that's why everybody comes to this country, so that you can have a free opinion, apparently. And why? Just fail to understand. Is there something that one misses in their understanding that Democrats understand? That why should even the illegal ones be allowed, and the ones who have entered without proper documentation? What is it? What is about this? I don't understand. And that's something that really intrigues me. As an outsider with a little less bias, probably, I can understand why they won this time, because I actually saw a lot of, defunct and dead motels being converted into shelters. I don't know if that's 100% for people who really need it, or there were a lot of criminals coming in, because now if one begins to see what's happening is that a lot of arrests being made by the ICE police teams in so-called sanctuary cities, which is surprising, because one would not even know without this happening that there were criminals who've crossed borders living next door. I don't know. You go to a shopping mall and the next person standing to you is somebody who's not here legally, and there is no document to that person, so that person can easily commit a crime, and probably there is no trace of it. For example, I know I've digressed into this whole debate, but I mean, what else for me to rant about? When we come in, we were supposed to give all our fingerprints and everything. So, I mean, it's not a very happy scenario. You have to queue up, wait for your turn, and go to a place, a service center, whatever that was, about 50 odd miles away. And I mean, we went through the whole process. So now, and I'm somebody who believes in it, so I don't know, but now it's, if a person who's come that way commits a crime, there are fingerprints, you can catch hold of them, there is documentation, you can catch hold of them, but for the ones who is undocumented and illegal, what do you do? So I don't quite fully understand and appreciate this debate, but I do, on the surface of it, there are always some things that don't quite settle well. So that's that. Anyway, let's move on. So what else has happened? Apparently, this one is a good one. So Trump and Melania both have meme coins now, and the prices of those meme coins have skyrocketed. Coincidentally, there is also an SEC Crypto 2.0 new task force which has been set up, which is supposed to help make things more streamlined, bring more easy and freer and logical and sensible regulation, the framework around policy making, registrations, disclosures, and stuff like that. So, all hunky-dory, all good. I am a believer in tech, so yeah, for all practical reasons, we should all move to crypto. But here is something I've been thinking about. Now, crypto as technology is great, but the meme coins, forget about the people on the top in the finance world, they say, but even as a logical person, I have tried to understand what is the value behind a meme coin except a notional value which you and I may agree on, and then just call it one meme coin is equal to $1 billion. And if we possess one, then we are billionaires suddenly. So to that extent, it does feel like it's a Ponzi scheme. I don't know, but it feels like that. Because everything that is not fully out of one person's control or ownership can be manipulated. And if these guys are going to be the owners, then, well. Now the funny part is, assuming, and these are the assumptions I've been thinking about, and I don't know if they're right or wrong or they add up or not. Assumption is that the ones who are investing in their meme coins, the Trump and Melania, are going to be their base, their followers, right? Because others would, out of just not liking or jealousy or whatever, would not invest, and they have their own principles and ideologies. All right, let's assume that's the case, that Trump's base would invest in Trump meme coin. Well, Trump's base, so to say, Trump's base is, let's say, rather rural, and they have less of the easy Wall Street money, and they have the real hard-earned money. Now they've invested in the meme coins, and the only way that Trump, his friends, his family, his associates make money out of those meme coins is by selling those meme coins, right? Now, the fun part is they would sell it. The ones who will be left holding an empty bag would be his own base. Now, that's a very tricky situation. You know, you should be careful as a. I think that is where the leaders go wrong. The greed gets them. Well, let's see how this one plays out, but I just hope this does not happen because his base is going to be really, really upset with him. And we've seen it. His base is not something that even at times he can control. So another big one is the withdrawal of US from the WHO. Now, all said and done, but there was a role that WHO played. In fact, the fact that US was the one, this great country which envisaged all these institutions, and then US itself is bringing them down or not participating in them or discrediting them, it's not boding well for US. The softer diplomacy, the soft power, what do you do about that? But all right, they're withdrawing it on the pretext that, that WHO has become biased, there's more influence. And again, assumptions, and something we need to think about for ourselves is the influence of China so great or greater that US has, stopped finding any particular sense in funding it, because US is the primary funding source for the WHO, and yet whatever is happening is happening. And I mean, the reasons being given are that they've mismanaged and mishandled COVID health crisis and other health crises. Their reforms are not that actively done. They need to course correct, which they're not doing. And again, I mean, they have a lot of influence from China and disproportionate payment shares, basically share of the pie that US has to pay versus the other countries in proportion to the population that they have. So that's another one. Another one that has happened, and that's the bigger one, is the ouster of Vivek Ramaswamy from the DOGE. And that's karma. And Vivek would understand this better than others. He shortchanged his own community, I would say, in a way, by going against the whole idea of immigration and birthright citizenship and all that, which is getting challenged anyway. I mean, so I don't know about that. I mean, again, I'm somebody who's open to formulating better opinions based on whatever newer logic one comes across, and that holds water, and I kind of form my opinion. But right now it seems that he, if anybody else, should have understood the importance of birthright citizenship and things like that. But having taken that away, I mean, karma got him, didn't it? He's now being moved out of Doge, and Musk is the only one who's going to lead it. Well, the next big one, I think this is the biggest of them all, is the declassification of the documents about the assassination of the two Kennedy brothers and Martin Luther King. I think this by itself is a bombshell. Domestically, these figures are too big. And the thing is now, the tricky part is while this is great, that if there was any wrongdoing, it should come out. And there was, clearly, because it was not natural death. It was, after all, assassination. Key thing is that when this comes out, and whosoever is the party, let's say the so-called deep state and stuff like that, what happens then? Does it create law and order situation? Does it create severe rifts between institutions like the ones named in the deep state, like the FBI and the CIAs and others, and the whole political establishment, which in a way Trump is challenging? What happens then is the key question, not just finding the... most of the people are enjoying the voyeurism, the voyeurism attached to this. Let's find out what happened there. But there are serious implications to this, and I feel only time will tell what happens when the real documents come out in the public. Firstly, would the public read them themselves? And again, would they be interpreted by the different media outlets to, how that goes. They have their own agenda, and then it just goes haywire from there.